Did you know that canceling your State Farm policy can actually be easier than you think? Well, stay tuned, because today we're going to discover a step-by-step guide that will completely simplify the whole process for you. Whether you're moving out of state or you just found a better rate elsewhere, we've got you covered. Welcome to this explainer. We're diving right in to demystify exactly how to terminate your auto or home insurance smoothly and, most importantly, without the headaches. We're talking exact steps, avoiding common traps, and figuring out the paperwork. Here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at before you cancel, preparing and exploring alternatives, contacting State Farm, navigating the ACORD 35, finalizing your policy cancellation, and finally, a quick summary and disclaimer. All right, let's jump right into part one, before you cancel. Listen, if there is one golden rule you take away from this entire explainer, it's this quote right here. Never cancel your old policy before your new one is officially active. Seriously, even a single-day gap in coverage can trigger state violations and some pretty hefty DMV fines. And worst case scenario, if you get into an accident on that uninsured day, you are literally personally liable for everything. So always match your cancellation date perfectly to your new policy start date. Moving right along to Section 2, preparing and exploring alternatives. Before you even think about picking up the phone, you gotta get your ducks in a row. First, track down that policy number. You can usually find it right there on your insurance card or billing statement. Next, locate the VIN, the vehicle identification number, for every car on your policy. You can usually spot it on your dashboard or the driver's side door jamb. And finally, double-check that exact confirmed start date for your new replacement insurance. Having these three things locked and loaded is going to speed this process up immensely. Now, hold on a second before you pull the trigger. Let's weigh options. A full policy cancellation versus just adjusting your coverages. Ask yourself, why are you actually leaving? If it's just about saving a few bucks, compare the sheer hassle of finding a new provider against simply tweaking what you already have. Sometimes just raising your deductibles, dropping a car you don't drive much, or asking about missing discounts can instantly lower your premium, no switching required. And here's a massive hidden risk that catches so many people off guard. If you bundle, say, your home and auto insurance, canceling just the auto policy is going to instantly nuke that multi-policy discount. That means the premium on your remaining State Farm policy will spike overnight. So definitely ask your agent to calculate the exact dollar increase on your remaining policies before making any final moves. Okay, Section 3, contacting State Farm, the execution phase. So how do we actually do this? You've got a few options. You can call your local agent directly, ring up the 1-800 State Farm national hotline, or mail a physical, written notice to their corporate headquarters. But did you notice what's totally missing here? Yep, you absolutely cannot cancel your State Farm auto policy online or through their mobile app. Direct communication is required. Now, while that 1-800 number is definitely an option, getting your local agent on the phone is absolutely the way to go. Why? Because the national call center basically just takes a message and routes it back to your local office anyway. Talking to your agent directly is a total time saver, usually getting the whole thing processed in just 1 to 2 business days. Next up, Section 4, navigating the ACORD 35. Let's decode some industry paperwork. The ACORD 35. This is the standard cancellation request or policy release document. It's essentially the formal binding paper trail that protects everyone involved. Because let's face it, a verbal request over the phone is basically just a sticky note on someone's desk. This form officially legally documents your exact instructions to stop coverage and releases the carrier from liability. For this paperwork to actually carry legal weight, it's got to have these specific details: your correct policy number, the exact effective date of cancellation, and the cancellation method, which is usually pro rata if you're stopping midterm. It also needs a clearly documented reason for leaving, and the big one, your signature. If it's not signed, it gets rejected. And hey, once you do sign it, always ask for a finalized copy. You really want that ironclad proof for your own records. All right, we're making great progress. Section 5. Finalizing your policy cancellation. You are going to absolutely love this number, 0. In almost all states, State Farm charges exactly $0 in cancellation fees or early termination penalties when you end your auto policy. You are not held hostage by random, arbitrary fees just because you decided to take your business somewhere else. And it gets even better. If you prepaid your premiums, you're entitled to a pro rata refund. That's just a fancy way of saying you get back the exact daily value of any unused coverage. So if you paid $600 for a 6-month policy and you cancel exactly halfway through, you get $300 back. You literally get back every single cent for the days you aren't insured with them. So what's the timeline on that money? Well, day 0 is your official cancellation date. After that, give your agent about 1 or 2 business days to process everything on their end. Then you're looking at roughly 7 to 14 business days for State Farm to calculate things and actually issue that pro rata refund back to your bank account or drop a check in the mail. To make sure this is a totally clean break, you'll want to run through this quick checklist. Always demand written confirmation of your cancellation date. Then be proactive. Log into your bank and turn off any automatic payments so you don't get surprise charges next month. If your state requires it, notify the DMV about your new insurance to avoid sudden fines. And finally, if you finance or lease your car, definitely alert your lien holder so they know their asset is still fully protected.
And that brings us to Section 6, Summary and Final Disclaimer.
Let's do a quick recap. The absolute most important takeaways to remember. Always lock in your replacement coverage before you cancel. Have your VIN and policy numbers ready to go. Remember to talk directly to your agent since you can't do this online. And keep a close eye out for that pro rata refund to hit your account within that 2-week window. Quick heads up, the information we covered in this explainer today is for informational and educational purposes only. Insurance laws can be really tricky and vary wildly by state, so definitely reach out to a licensed professional or your State Farm agent directly for advice that fits your specific situation. Now, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. Have you actually checked the fine print of your current policy lately? Before you go through all the trouble of shopping around and canceling, ask yourself if you really know what's in there. A quick chat with your agent might just uncover some amazing savings opportunities or better coverage options you never even knew existed, right in your own backyard. Thanks for tuning into this explainer and happy navigating.